and defies all difficult and rough terrain. Then following the hunter vehicles, we'll have the anti-aircraft guns and multi-rocket launchers. After which the signal will come. The signal is a radio control improvised explosive device jammer on their vehicle. So it's a host of them. So I'd rather we look at it and enjoy
but
ourselves.
I asked you to explain because usually the security agencies keep information to themselves and tell you that for security reasons. Why is it that the security agencies do not mind displaying what they have to the rest of the public when indeed they have been telling us that we don't tell you everything in security? Some of the things they keep to themselves.
Exactly. And what we are displaying is not everything. We are displaying the ones we can easily display without any challenges. So these vehicles, I'm sure you see them in town from time to time. So these are not things that the general public does not have to know. So we know what to bring out and what to keep in. So these ones, it's just for you to know that these are some of the equipment we work with, and they do not really have any challenge. They do not have any challenge.
And what sort of impact do you hope to make on the public when you come out to display some of these things to them?
Yeah, okay. Some of this equipment can operate in very rugged terrain. So somebody will ask you, something has happened overseas. How do you get there? If we go with an aircraft, eventually we'll have to get down into a vehicle. So some of these vehicles are to tell you the environment in which they operate and to assure you that irrespective of where you are located, we have variety of vehicles that can reach your location. We also have different weapons for different purposes, which I will not explain anyway. So that is basically just to give you that assurance that we are there to ensure our total safety and security.
Ghana Armed Forces, the Ghana Police Service, the Ghana Fire Service, the Ambulance Service of Ghana, and other security agencies will all in a very short while display to the President some of the equipment they have. And by displaying to the President, of course, by extension, they would be displaying to the rest of us here in the country, just to reassure us that they are up to the task, they are alive and awake, and anytime they are called upon to protect us, they will be there to do so on our behalf.
The leading vehicles are the Cobra 1 Recce and Ambulance vehicles. They have adopted design formation. They are equipped with gunshot detection system designed to detect, locate, and provide feedback on hostile fire.
Like Commander Angie was saying, and we have no fears.
The Troop 1 size 1 class 2 Kutu Victor. The next vehicle is the Cobra 2 Armored Personnel Carrier. They have adopted the force formation. They are also used to support assault troops in conducting special operations such as raid and counter-terrorism. They are commanded by Second Lieutenant Kevin Lati. The Troop 1 is 1 class 1 to receive handcraft. At the rear of that formation is the Raptor combat vehicle. They are equipped with a 90mm quick firing gun. They have also adopted design 1 formation. They are under the command of Second Lieutenant Jonah Frempa. That Troop 1 is 1 class 1 handcraft.
So that's a display of equipment by the Ghana Armed Forces, the Ghana Police Service, and also the Ghana Ambulance Service, the Ghana Fire Service, and all the other security agencies. Commander, you are the military officer here with us. You may want to explain to us what we are seeing for purposes of educating our viewers.
Okay, so the shot currently in our view is from the 66 artillery. But from this angle, the vehicles, the 4 vehicles in front are from the Armor Regiment, the 153 Armor Regiment in Accra. Those are the 4 vehicles we are seeing. And then directly behind them, we have the 66 Artillery Regiment. They perform different duties, but I'm not sure I would want to go into the nitty-gritty of their roles.
Yes, we do understand that, but so the President has been on his feet most part of the day since he arrived here, and he's still doing so. Remember that this is the 63rd Independence Anniversary Parade, but it is the first time it has been brought, the national celebration has been brought to the Ashanti region, and specifically to the capital, Kumasi. And it's the second time ever in the history of the Republic of Ghana for the event to have been moved outside of the capital, Accra. The first time was in Tamale, the northern regional capital. Here we see a display of some military equipment. Indeed, this is obviously from the Navy. This is the Ghana Navy. I know this too.
Yes, so that was the Ghana Navy, and that's the port security patrol boats. And these boats are rigid-hulled, inflatable boats used by the Navy for operations at sea and for diving operations.
Definitely, the Ghana Navy could not have brought its ships here, and so you brought a boat to show to Ghanaians.
Yes.
But there's a lot more that the Ghana Navy can boast of than what is being displayed here.
Yes, and that is the police now. Those riders are from the police dispatch. No, this is from the Ghana Police Service.
The Ghana Police Service.
This is from the Ghana Police Service.
Currently displaying. And these are the dispatch riders in front of the other vehicles, and the dispatch riders, as the name suggests, dispatch officials in a very quick manner, where when officials need the way to be cleared for them in order to attend to events and emergencies in good time. Not just officials, but in emergency situations, these are the men who make the way clear for the experts to be able to arrive there on time.
And these are some of the riot control vehicles by the Ghana police.
Ghana Police Service displaying the equipment to the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. And there we have the Ghana Fire Service. The Fire Service were also restocked not too long ago. They have still been appealing for more. It's just like all of the security agencies, including the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force as well. You've been calling for more equipment to stock your what you already have, haven't you?
Also from the Ghana National Fire Service, you see the ambulances. Not too long ago, Abdul, the ambulances became a subject of a national conversation.
Of course, the ambulances were a source of national conversation, especially when many Ghanaians could not. Yeah, and that is the physical trainers once again.
Yes, physical training instructors from the Ghana Armed Forces.
We earlier saw them display on the field, and now they are displaying some of their equipment. This looks more like a mobile gym, if you ask me.
It's amazing to see a human being just rotating with that vehicle continuously. And this is going to go on throughout.
So that is backward roll forward out of the chair, and then forehead spring and backward roll to sit. It looks very simple, but it's not that simple.
Can imagine the hours of rehearsal that had to go into doing this, because as an individual you may be able to do it alone, but to do it together with others and in unison would demand a lot of practice and rehearsal. I just saw what happened there.
Yes.
And it's almost like marching while still engaging in some form of exercise.
Yes.
And they are doing it to precision and timing.
Yes. Back band lift and handspring in pairs. That's what we are watching now. Bend back lifts and handspring in pairs.
So these are the personnel,
The physical training
who
instructors,
train
the military personnel.
the military personnel.
Yes, and they are military personnel themselves.
Commander, did you go through this?
Oh yes, every military personnel goes through.
You did this?
I may not know. I didn't necessarily do it because I am not a PTI. So the PT course is also a core.
And the crowd went ecstatic over this one.
Because it's pretty.
Yes,
very nice.
it was very nice. But if there was a mistake there, you can imagine the kind of pain it would have caused the receiver of that mistake.
Exactly.
And so, and this is where the warning comes in. Do not try this at home. You need to be an expert to be able to try some of these stunts that the military personnel here are displaying. The president obviously
the president's
impressed
excited.
with what he's seen. He's the commander-in-chief
Of
the Ghana Armed Forces. If this is what it takes to join the military, no wonder I'm a journalist. I could never have joined the military.
Oh, you can with determination. I believe everything in life is about determination. And most of us go without having any idea, but with determination, one can sail through. But it's difficult, I must admit. So that's one phase of the display. And now we are having the individual displays. So that's a freestyle display by the physical instructors. And the aim is to test their ability and agility.
And the response from the crowd is... So at this level, you as a physical trainer on this stage, you come and do whatever you feel like doing?
But they've rehearsed, so you know which one you are doing and which the other person is doing. So that we can have a variety of them.
Wow. Do not try this at home. You will feel dizzy. I'm already feeling dizzy on his behalf. I feel dizzy on his behalf, really. That was amazing. That was amazing. Again, shots from the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi, filled to capacity stadium. Ghanaians are enthusiastic about Ghana. The people of Kumasi are enthusiastic about Ghana, and they're excited that this honor has been done them. The national parade has been brought to their doorsteps, and currently the physical trainers of the Ghana Armed Forces on display, showing us what stuff they are made of. And if you have ideas of joining the military, perhaps these are some exercises you may be psyching yourself up for.
Exactly. You may have to take part in some of these, especially if you're a physical training instructor. If you join the physical training instructors, then you would have to necessarily take part. The next is horse work. And I'll leave the description to you.
Horse work.
Horse work.
Okay, so when you said horse work, I was looking out for where the horses were. But I'm not seeing horses. I'm seeing men jump over
what looks like a horse.
What looks like a horse. Yes. And so this is what to ensure that if you meet any obstacle, you will be able to scale over.
Cross it easily. Yes. So that is face vault on and off. Then we have the through vault and astride vault.
Right. That was beautiful. Yeah, it's all part of it. Of course, Asantino's 82, Otumfo's 82, the second, also admiring the scenes here. He must be a very proud king at the moment. He's here admiring and observing events as they unfold. The scenes here are so beautiful. The cameras will not be able to bring every thing to you in your homes, but we'll try to give you as much as we can. This is still the armed forces, the Ghana Armed Forces, displaying some skills. These are physical trainers, and Commander Veronica Ahen, who is here in commentary position with me, has been warning us that we should not try this at home. This is for experts. If you are not one, do not try it. You may end up hurting yourself. Selikam, did you ever dream of engaging in any of these exercises?
Absolutely not. It appears that even this one was well rehearsed over and over again. It takes a lot of effort and skill to have to get to this point of perfection.
Wow.
This is just admirable, and you can just hear the crowd appreciate the display, the physical display.
Of course, the Ghana Armed Forces, noted as one of the best around the world on many UN peacekeeping missions. The reports have indicated that the Ghana Armed Forces have been very professional and meticulous at
And
whatever
this
it is they do. Yes.
And that is the dive and roll through the loop. Dive and roll through the loop.
Oh. So, and two persons come almost at the same time, and
one dives through the loop. Sorry.
oh,
One
oh,
creates
wow,
a loop,
okay.
and the other one dives through it.
And here again, with the least mistake,
Yes.
there could be a crash of heads.
Exactly.
It's
So it's done with training.
training.
And let me add that Lieutenant Gershon Adase and his able safety supervisors, Chief Petty Officer Class 1, Aqua Bernard, Staff Sergeant Oklu Roland Moses, and Petty Officer Class 1, Seshi Sylvester, Flight Sergeant Amponsa Jeffrey, and Staff Sergeant Adato Courage worked tirelessly to bring this personnel to this level. Even though they are physical training instructors, they still needed to train.
This is GBC's coverage of the 63rd Independence Parade and the first national parade ever to be held in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi. The first was in the northern regional capital of Tamale. And here in Kumasi, we're seeing beautiful scenes, beautiful sounds, beautiful people, beautiful cultures, diversity of cultures meeting at one spot. And that spot is here at the Babayara Sports Stadium. So the loop and dive and loop.
Dive and roll through the loop. But this one is somersault through the loop. So he has created the loop by you somersault over him.
Oh, wow.
So that's a higher jump.
Yes,
That's a higher
higher
jump.
one.
And again, with the least of mistakes, we could have trouble in our hands. And so
Exactly.
what it means again is that don't try this at home. It's for the experts. And this is just an indication of how physically fit the men of the Ghana Armed Forces are. And I'm beginning to
That's
get
your
memories of
Yes.
Tamale coming back. I saw something similar, and then it began to blaze with fire, and we had men and personnel from the Ghana Armed Forces jump. Okay, so we go. There we go again. You can. And the crowd is responding to this again. The crowd went ecstatic over this one. Anytime someone jumps through it successfully, because if you fail to do so, you will not go back home the same.
You can't afford to touch any of the edges.
You cannot.
But this will also be very hot.
Yes, it is fire, so it's hot.
Oh dear.
So again, I'm always curious about some of these things. So, in practicality, what will this do for us as a people or as an army? What's this supposed to mean?
That if you have a mission to accomplish and you need to overcome this, then you have to find a way of overcoming it. You don't have to allow fire to be an obstacle. You don't have to allow rain to be an obstacle. In fact, nothing must be an
Height,
obstacle.
we've seen, should not be an obstacle. Because they're jumping at a high altitude, if you like. But again, you have to be so precise that you have to go through fire to be able to get
Achieve
to your
task.
Wow. And so there we had
jumping over it.
He tried to jump over it, but indeed, okay, so this is jumping over it.
Yes,
The first was jumping
through it.
Now it's jumping over it actually. Okay, and
that's he jumped paying compliments.
What does that mean?
He was saluting when he jumped through the ring. Oh, you didn't see it. You missed it.
That was very fast. Paying compliments. He was
Yes,
saluting.
he was saluting.
Whilst jumping at the same time.
Exactly.
And he jumps through.
Yeah, exactly. And so, yes.
And the president is rising to show his appreciation.
So the leader is going to ask permission again for them to march off. Yes, and their motto is strong mind, strong body.
Strong mind,
Strong mind,
Yeah.
strong body.
Yes.
Of course, you need a strong mind to be able to withstand some of the very torturous experiences, and then you need a strong body to be able to withstand the very physically demanding tasks that the Ghana Armed Forces have to go through in order to protect our territorial integrity, but also to participate at the UN level and the AU level to ensure that Ghana remains an active member of the UN and also an active member of the AU and other international bodies such as the ECOWAS and so on. And so it's instructive that we are aware that our men and women in uniform are always physically and mentally stable and alert at all times to protect our interest. And that was the physical trainers of the Ghana Armed Forces. So now everything is in the hands of the security agencies at this point in time. We've seen the horsework. What next?
We have a little surprise, and I'll start speaking only when they start it.
Oh, so you have a surprise for who? For the audience, for the president?
For our viewers.
So it's a little surprise.
Yes.
And is this
Okay, this is a short scenario as to how, if there's a need to rescue somebody, like a very important personality has been kidnapped, and then a special force is inserted to go and then
rescue
the person. Before such people get onto the field, we'll have security intelligence giving us an idea as to the location, and then in real life scenario, the aircraft would have dropped the persons far away, and then they'll find their own means to the location. So we are assuming that they have found their location, and some personnel will rappel and others will do fast roping. There are two types of getting down from the aircraft to rescue that person who has been kidnapped. But for the sake of time, I'm sure they are going to give an abridged version, so you will not see all the nitty-gritty.
So now this chopper is assumed to have arrived at the spot where the person is being held hostage, so to speak.
This particular one will have to be happening a bit far from the location.
Because it will draw attention.
It will draw attention.
So it will be far from the location.
Yes.
And then the personnel would have to find a way of
walking down here. Exactly.
Okay. So this is where we are now.
Yes. So this is rappelling. What you are seeing now, that form of dropping is called rappelling. And it's normally dropped off the location for the personnel to walk a distance or drive, whichever means is available, to the site of the operation. And because I'm privy to it, let me add that the first person coming out is a female.
Oh,
yes.
We have, well, it's clear. We can see it's a female, and she's done it so effortlessly. She's landed very well. So they will from here then join, because we saw two men with a motorbike like.
It's more than two. It's because of the camera.
Okay.
They have actually secured the whole place. So they have them around virtually the whole stadium.
So this is rappelling from the chopper to the location.
Yes.
Not the direct location, but a location a bit far away, so that you do not draw the attention of the enemy before you go in for the rescue. Otherwise, then the enemy would devise defensive mechanisms against you.
Exactly.
Okay. So it is assumed that here at this point, the enemy doesn't know that any action is being taken.
No. And even if it happens that they have to drop the enemy at the exact location, okay, should I be giving out so much information? I think I'll keep it to myself. So
we'll see the surprise.
What we have now.
Yeah, we'll have the surprise here. But from here, really, I'm just being curious. So then what next? They will now walk, because there's an advanced team, and we are not seeing communication between the advanced team and those rappelling from the chopper at the moment. How they communicate with each other?
I believe, normally this is planned way back in our bases. That maybe at so and so time this group will go. So and so time you go, and the rappelling team would have to rappel onto the ground and secure the ground before those coming to do the actual rescue would come. So another team will come. But I'm sure for the sake of time, we might not show everything. And the fact that we see them rappelling so easily doesn't make it easy at all. It can be very, very intimidating. Even the aircraft alone, the air blowing around it, can create a lot of challenge. So this required training. And this person is coming out with a dog. This is a trained dog for such exercises or operations.
And the dog is aware of this. So
the dog has trained.
The dog has trained, and this is not the first time the dog is going through such an exercise.
No, this is not the first time.
Okay. And the dog is trained to know all the other persons, all the other men and women in the battalion?
No, not necessarily. But the dog trainer gives it instructions and it obeys.
Right.
No, dogs are very sensitive pets. If only you have time and you train them, you can use them for so many things. And these are specially trained military dogs for operations.
We've seen quite a few since we arrived at the venue yesterday. Very strong looking dogs with huge muscles, with the ability to push down a man if you're not careful. We've seen a few of them here, and it's exciting to know that the Ghana Armed Forces is that well prepared in terms of yes.
So in reality, this team will go and help those on the ground to secure wherever. So this team will drop off and walk close to the location of the incident and secure the place and be ready to fire back or return fire if the enemy should try to fire on them. sometimes, or maybe when the person is running off, the dog can be directed to go and then arrest it. Yeah. This is the fast roping. This one, they do it much faster than the rappelling. And this one normally is closer to the site. So before this team comes, the rappelling team should have been in position. You see, they are so quick, and that's the commanding officer of this of the unit. It's thicker. But like I said, for the sake of time, a lot of things have been left out. Yes. Because there will be the need to exchange fire and all that. It will not be done. So please, those of you who are expecting it, sorry.
There will not be exchange of gunfire here. Okay, so they have rappelled from the chopper, and then the second one, the
fast roping.
The fast roping.
Yes, they have also come down. And they are coming to actually rescue the person who has been kidnapped.
Right. This is actually the first time we are seeing this as part of the parade at any Independence Day. This is an innovation, and it is new. It's novel and exciting to watch. For those of us who rarely come close to military and their actions, this presents us with a very exciting picture.
Okay, so this is the Special Forces of the Ghana Armed Forces. We have personnel from the Ghana Army, and we also have personnel from the Ghana Navy. The Navy Special Forces is known as the Special Boat Squadron. And the members of the rappelling team, the first crew, were Flight Lieutenant Dominic Ajokache, Flight Lieutenant Daniel Foley, Flight Lieutenant Samuel Nyako Mensah, Flight Lieutenant Patrick Opoku Boache, and Warrant Officer Class 1 Mafo Osei Halifax, as well as Warrant Officer Class 1 Richard Mensah. And those who came through the pilot for the fast roping are Squadron Leader Evans Kwabna Opoku, Squadron Leader Benjamin Ochre, and Flight Lieutenant Abdul Nasser Salia, with Sergeant Tebi Kenneth, and Sergeant Kina Stephen, and Corporal Aticho Charles. And so the dog has helped them to arrest whoever is fomenting the trouble. So they just to inform the public that if there's something that needs special forces to go and undertake the operation, they would go and do it. So now they are searching the criminal to be sure he has nothing on him.
The crowd of people here at the Baba Yara Stadium observing as the Ghana Armed Forces, I should say, show us what stuff they're made of and how prepared they are to protect the territorial integrity of the Republic of Ghana. We've come a long way, 63 years of independence, 63 years of so much to celebrate and so much to look forward to. The President now taking his seat. So the Special Forces are now marching off. Assignment has been done.
Yes, accomplished.
Yes. And their tax is done, and they will now go home, if you like.
Yes.
They've been dismissed.
Yes, they sought permission.
It's in the military that dismissal means something different from the rest. When you are dismissed, I've heard that in the military, that means go home. In other circles, when you are dismissed, it means don't come back here ever again.
It has different meanings at different times. So if you're on parade and they said turn to your right, dismiss, it means turn to your right. You have closed whatever we are doing.
Go home.
But you can also be dismissed from the armed forces. So it can be used in the connotation that you know as well.
Thank you so much.